Maybe, we'll never know. So, updated news. I mentioned later on in this video that the Democrats were suing Governor Rick Scott for not extending the registration for the election, and that's updated. I just saw on the news that they have extended the deadline to register to vote. So, you know, if you still haven't registered yet, you still have a little bit of time. And hopefully everything will work out. Hopefully we won't have to depend on a wobble to save us. Now, I saw some real interesting videos about these pulses that were coming out, and Clinton Mason had another channel that he recommended, and this is the channel. I'll leave a link for this. All kinds of real interesting information here you can look over about the way this hurricane moved, and the way that it was, I guess, marketed. It's almost like it was marketed by the government. You know, it was a death storm, it was a monster, now we're rebuilding. But there was something going on in the radar, and you could see this video really showed, you know, evidence that there was something with the radar. Also, I had mentioned the radar videos by Clinton Mason. Let's see if I can get this to get bigger. And it was almost like there was something pushing the storm. So was that the wobble? Were they making the storm wobble back and forth? And I don't know. I don't know why they would do that. But, you know, does there have to be a reason for why they do what they do? So, anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. Have a great day. Cheerios.
Yes, as you said, Brett and Jasmine, A1A is now in pieces here in Flagler Beach. If you take a look here, you can see where chunks of the road just completely washed away in Hurricane Matthew. The damage spans almost a mile.
Since before Hurricane Matthew happened, if you'll follow our coast, we have a lot of erosion, and you can see the erosion here, what it did to the road right behind us. The state's going to do our job. We have a variety of people here. Congressman Mike is going to make sure the federal government does their part.
This morning, Governor Rick Scott toured the destruction along with Congressman John Mica, both leaders pledging to do everything at the state and federal levels to fix it. But they say it's going to come at a high cost. Mica met with transportation officials today to discuss the need for emergency funds.
This is probably the most significant damage that the state has incurred in our transportation system. This would bankrupt Flagler Beach and the county to restore this.
And the Army Corps of Engineers will also be helping to restore the beach. Officials are now looking at redesigning the road here, A1A, using an asphalt base that would be more permanent. They also plan to make the wall sturdier, possibly by building a second wall. On Thursday, transportation officials will meet with local officials here in Flagler Beach to discuss a solution and that price tag. As of now, Flagler Beach remains closed, and the city is only open to residents. Officials, the mayor actually here in Flagler Beach, says that the roads are unsafe at this point, and the beach is also unsafe, so that's why everything has to be closed, but they do hope to reopen soon. Live in Flagler Beach, Alex Villarreal, WESH 2 News.
They edited out where live the governor, he said John Mica's name like 3 or 4 times, and it was just like stuttering and stammering. So it just makes me wonder, you know, why he's so nervous. But you can see where that damage, it looked like the sand under the road was like dug out by the waves of that Hurricane Matthew. In the meantime, Florida Democrats are suing This is Orlando Weekly. It's a story in Orlando Weekly. And they're suing Rick Scott over voter registration deadline. This is today's news. Florida Democratic Party is suing Florida Governor Rick Scott in federal court after he freaked everybody out over Hurricane Matthew days before the voter registration deadline and now refuses to extend it. I don't know why they're not extending it. They're not extending a lot of things. You know, there's this terrible storm. They told you to get out, you're going to die. And then your stuff is still due. You know, I got an email from work. Get back to work. You know, all your stuff's due on Friday still, or whatever, you know. After Scott made a series of ominous warnings, such as this storm will kill you, which, if you didn't get on tape, you might want to mirror that now. The campaign for Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton asked Scott to extend the voter registration deadline, which is currently Tuesday, October 11th. So they're not extending the deadline, just giving the Democrats more reason to complain. Democrats are asking that the registration deadline be extended until October 18th. Now today is Columbus Day, but in Florida, I'm telling you, nobody takes a day off normally. Even though the banks are closed, I think, because it's a federal holiday. But on a normal Columbus Day, there would still be school. The only thing closing would be the banks. Let's see, here's some aerial footage. Now a lot of this damage was down in Flagler. This is Daytona. Palm Coast. You can see the flooding. See this brown water? That's the river. Somewhere there near the river. Either the Swanee River, probably, I'm just saying probably, or the St. Johns River, because that tannin in there. Of course, the ocean was coming up and spilling over. This is down in CoreLogic. I can't remember where this is. This is probably A1A, and it looks like Ponte Vedra, but I can't really tell. This is supposedly North Carolina. This guy is getting rescued. Dramatic rescue. And then this helicopter goes over all these fields and things. They had lots of flooding in Georgia. And here it looks like it's really deep, but that's up to this person's knees, it looks like. This is up in Charleston. I love Charleston. Hopefully, you know, everything will get back to normal. There's a lot of damage done up in North Carolina and South Carolina. They just look like they're having a good time, though, you know. And then the weird thing about the number coding and everything, too. There was something here, you know, it's like a candy cane, you know, the way they showed this, like, hook. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, it's gone. It disappeared. And so did the other one. There was this other one out here, Nicole. And then Matthew, they were supposedly, you know, at one point they were going to get together and become one giant hurricane. And then it just, oh, it's gone. It left this area and it's not coming back after all. So they were saying it was going to come back around. And this poor lady, you know, if you live in a mobile home, you know, in any of these hurricane areas, this is Port Orange, you know, you don't know what's going to happen. Now, this was the road where they were standing, I believe, with the governor. Yeah, Flagler Beach, A1A. And there it is again. You can see, you know, when your bottom layer is sand, you know, they really probably do need to rebuild that road. And that's back up north again. Charleston. You got your 49, your Batman, your Lightning. You know, it's like the media makes sure that you get the coding in here. You know, what that means is there's going to be something to do with the New World Order. And we got to redo everything so that, you know, they're not going to keep the storm away. They probably have the technology to keep the storm away. Savannah, St. Simons. They just let people back into St. Simons Island. They had a little confusion. They said that, this is St. Augustine. They had said that they could get back on the island, and then they said, no, you can't. And then it had something to do with the state and the local governments having some kind of disagreement. Now this is Volano here. And you see this? I mean, these people are not allowed back to their homes yet. Well, they are now. This is from a couple days ago. But these kind of vehicles, it looks like the National Guard maybe, or it could be, you know, via FEMA or Department of Homeland Security. But this is the Intercoastal, and they're on their way to Volano Beach. My parents used to live down there, and this is like the little, they have like a dock here where you can keep your boats and everything. All these people waiting to get back home. You have to wait till you get permission to get back. You have to show ID plus have a registration that says, you know, you have a, you know, access kind of thing. Trying to get a wider view there. So this area is, if you go this way, is to St. Augustine, and then coming this way is east towards the beach. You go over these marshes, and they've done a lot of development over there already and spent like millions and millions of dollars. But I find this very interesting. Cops won't let you get back. So during Floyd, my dad never left. He said, forget it, he's not leaving, he's going to stay put. This didn't happen.